What is up, guys? Marcellus Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, here to educate you on health, fitness, social well-being. This is episode 24 of Time to Build, and today, guys, I'm going to be taking you through what my current programming looks like, as well as showing you what day one of the week looks like. And then, you know, with the future videos, I'll be showing you, what all the days look like collectively. So pretty much the only day you're going to get a whole lot of detail on as far as like why I'm doing everything I'm doing is going to be day one for today, but I'm about to take you guys through the entire program. So for those of you who aren't aware, because you don't follow me on Instagram, my program is currently being done by Tietz, aka Aesthetic Strength on Instagram. I'll have a link to his YouTube channel in the description. Highly suggest you guys check him out. If you guys like my content, you will love his content. His content is extremely informative and just so directly applicable, especially when it comes to things like movement prep, technique. Just the dude's got all. He's got all of it. Like, so if you like this channel, you'll love that channel. So be sure to check it out. And also, I'll have directly the link to one of his latest videos where he pretty much goes over why he sets up his programming the way that he does, so that those of you who maybe don't want to wait for me to come out with each video for each day, kind of get a better idea of kind of like why things are set up the way that they are. So getting into it, first of all, the programming is pretty much like an upper-lower split. There's pretty much 2 upper body days, 2 lower body days, and then there's a 5th day, which is more of like a sort of full body technique tempo-based day for bench and squat. So getting right into it, let me just kind of go through the movements for each day and kind of let you guys know what's going on. So right now I'm pretty much in a movement prep phase, right? So everything's broken down into mesocycles. So for those of you who don't know, a microcycle is usually about a week, sometimes 2. A mesocycle is usually about a month, and then a macrocycle is usually about like your plan for the entire year, or in my case right now, like up to 6 months leading up into my meet. So right now I am going into the 3rd week of this movement prep phase. After this, I'll probably have 1 or 2 more movement prep phases. Then I'll go into a volume phase, and then actual strength intensity peaking phase leading up into my meet. So this is what my work is currently looking like as of right now. On day 1, which for me is on Saturdays, I have naked squats, beltless controlled competition deadlifts, Bulgarian split squats, and planks. And you guys will be seeing exactly like what all that involves today, and why I'm doing that and how it goes, and pretty much like what everything is. Naked squats just means no sleeves or belt. I'll be explaining why I'm doing that later in the video. And then beltless competition deadlift obviously just means beltless competition style deadlift, which for me as of right now is conventional. I'm pulling conventional and sumo, kind of working with both. We're kind of trying to decide what we think looks a little bit better on me, what we prefer. It may sort of seem like a step back, since man, I was start off with sumo, then conventional, then sumo again, I'll go back to conventional, but I'm still working on building up both. But we think that conventional just may look a little bit better for me after all, especially now that I've taken so much from my sumo and can apply that to the conventional. But anyway, I'll get more into that later. So then day 2 on Sundays is the upper body, more intensity strength focused day, which is a competition bench press, spoto press, which I'll be showing you guys what that is later, weighted pull-ups, chest supported row of my choice, 1 arm dumbbell overhead press, face pulls with external rotation, and then an arm superset of my choice. Like I said, you guys will see more about that day with the actual video we're going over that day. So then after that, I rest on Mondays. Then on Tuesdays, it's more of a volume focused day. So even though it's a movement prep phase, so nothing's gonna be quite as heavy as it will be during a strength intensity phase, or nothing's gonna be quite as, it's not gonna be quite as much volume as it will be during a volume phase. There's still like intensity days, volume days, and then specific technique days, right? So on Tuesdays, it's front squats, paused opposing stance deadlift. So my opposing stance would be sumo, so I have paused sumo deadlifts. Then I can use either like the pit shark squat machine or a tempo hack squat machine, side plank with rotation, and then lastly, leg curls. Then the day after that, which is gonna be on Wednesdays, which is my volume focused upper body day, I have dumbbell bench press. And you guys technically saw this day already in my last video, but I'll be explaining more of why I'm doing everything when I show you guys that again. But dumbbell bench press, overhead press, wide grip cable row, 1 arm lat pull downs, lateral raises, reverse cable flies, and then an arm superset of choice once again. And then Thursday, which is the final day of the week, because then I will then rest on Friday, then repeat the whole process again on Saturday. Thursdays are tempo competition squats, tempo competition bench press, 1 arm farmer carry, and ab exercise of choice, followed with some mobility work. And you guys will be seeing a little bit like the mobility stuff that I do each day anyway, like pretty much the same things you guys always do. Like if I show you a workout, I tend to show you some of my warm-ups, mobilities that I'm working on, but I'll give you guys a little bit more in-depth breakdown as to why I'm doing everything that I'm doing as each day comes. And then I'll finally be able to show you guys exactly what tempo work is actually for, because like I think you guys have taken it to an extreme with me saying that tempo work, extreme, exaggerated, slow eccentrics and concentrics aren't going to help you in terms of putting on more muscles for hypertrophy, but that doesn't mean they don't have their place for other reasons such as control, stability. So you guys will be able to see more of that once we come to that day on Thursday. But for now, I'm actually about to head to Progressive Overload. I'm going to be picking up Russell. He's in town, so he's going to be lifting with me, Derek, and Mark. It's going to be a good time. See you guys at the gym.
Alright, what is up guys? Jumping in for a voiceover really quickly. Well, I say really quickly, but you guys know how these things tend to go. Anyway, pretty much just want to explain to you guys what's going on screen, give you a little bit more feedback on this specific day with the programming, and that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing for each day of these workouts as I explained to you guys. So like I said, this is already my third week going into this programming, so I'll pretty much kind of catch you guys up with like what's been going on and leading up to like what's going on with this day as far as the weekly progression for this specific day. So right now on screen you guys just see that we're doing some warm-ups, some mobility work, some pre-dynamic work, just find those tight spots, help relieve some tension, as well as just help on firing muscles off where we need to feel a bit more activation, such as like the hips, the glutes, the hamstrings, the quads, all that good stuff that's involved in squatting. So you guys are gonna see right now I'm doing some counterbalance squats, pretty much just basic goblet squats, but I'm taking my time, nice steady tempo, doing my usual bracing technique to keep my core tight, my back tight, my glutes tight, then I'm pausing briefly at the bottom, then coming back up in a nice steady tempo. And pretty much guys, what I'm focused on is creating that torsion with my feet, really twisting my feet into the ground and really opening up my hips at the bottom and keeping my knees out as I'm pushing forward, just because that's something that I've really had to work on a lot, especially with doing these naked squats. And like I said, I'll be getting into exactly why we're doing the naked squats once they come up on screen. But I also wanted to address something else guys as far as mobility, because every now and then you guys will ask me like, hey, do a full video over like your mobility routine so that we can do it too. And I want to make this very clear guys, mobility as far as what movements you actually do is very specific to the individual. It's very dependent upon like what your weaknesses are, where you have issues with mobility, where you're feeling tight. So it wouldn't make any sense for me to show you guys like, well, first of all, I have shown you guys, I don't know if you guys realize, but like the stuff I'm showing you right now, these are things I've shown you before, and it's not like I just do like a 30-minute mobility routine, because once again, a lot of it depends on you. If you have a whole lot of tight spots and mobility issues, then your mobility warm-ups or your pre-dynamic warm-ups before you work out are probably going to be a lot longer. But like for example, right here, what I'm doing is creating as much tension as I can with that band on the crease in my hip, and pretty much just getting into the deadlift position, making sure that my glutes are tight, my back's tight, feeling the stretch in my hamstring as well. Then right now I'm pretty much just searching around for any tight spots, which I really haven't had to deal with any as far as tension, so this part doesn't take very long. But then you'll see that I'm gonna end up jamming my leg out in the same way I would for a squat. Once again, work on opening up those hips, and I just go through like a couple of rounds of this, 2 to 3 rounds depending on how I'm feeling on that specific day. But yeah, I just want to make that clear. However, if you guys are interested in more things like movement prep and mobility, just in general the importance of it, I do have a few videos I've done over there that you can check out. But then Brendan has like a crap load of videos over stuff like that, so you guys can definitely check that out. Once again, it's not to say that his videos are going to tell you exactly everything you need to do for you, but it's going to give you options based upon maybe what you're dealing with. So right here guys, you guys are going to see that boy Derek and then David, who you guys have both seen on the channel before, joined Mark and I for the squat routine. Mark's programming is not the same as mine at all, but he just joined me for this day. So right now this is my first set of naked squats, and it's ascending RPE. So this first set is RPE 6 for a set of 5, and the next set's going to be RPE 7 for a set of 4, and then the top set's going to be RPE 8 for a set of 3, and then it'll be like 2 back down sets of 5 just for a little bit more volume work. Now, as you guys can see, I'm really focused on taking my time with my bracing and my technique, and that's one of the points of naked squats. It really forces you to be more methodical. It forces you to really work on your technique. Why? Because you don't have your belt or your sleeves to rely on, and then it just has excellent carryover, because as you get stronger with your naked squats, obviously it's going to have great carryover to when you do put the belt and sleeves back on. But it's just different in terms of like the way proprioception works, right? Because with the belt there's greater proprioception because you can literally brace your core against the belt, but with this we're having to really maintain the core tightness on our own. The activation of the obliques is a little bit different, and like I said, we just have to be a little bit more methodical with our bracing as a whole. Now this is actually Mark's first time doing low bar squats, and you're going to see that he actually takes to it very well. We've been telling him for a while, hey man, you squat a crap load high bar, once you go to low bar, your squat's going to blow up even more. So he did really well today, and he actually pretty much joined me for the naked squats up until I think we got to the heavier sets. Then he put the belt on just to still work on his low bar positioning as a whole. And then David, I believe this is actually his first time squatting in a few months. I'm not sure if it's because he was dealing with injuries or he was just taking some time off for some other reason, but either way, he ended up joining us and working up to some relatively heavy weight. He ended up going a little bit heavier than us too, just because he was wearing his belt and sleeves. I can't remember what he worked up to exactly. I want to say 400 something. And then same thing for Derek, of course, like that's nothing for him. He's pretty much just doing more like recovery squats because he's been taking a little bit of time off squats to give his hip a little bit of time to recover. And for the most part, that went well. He worked up to 400 something too for some relatively easy triples. And I think this is the first set of that right now, actually. But yeah, that's pretty much what the point of the naked squats is for, guys, is to help work on the bracing technique. The main thing that I've changed up is you guys already know that I was working on taking more time with make sure I'm nice and tight and braced, and then descending into the squat instead of trying to brace really fast and descend. But one thing that's changed is before, guys, I would pretty much fill my core with air, right, brace tightly, and then I would really try to like lock my elbows in, engage my lats, squeeze my glutes, and then go down. But what I found with the naked squats is that that type of setup actually was still causing quite a bit of lower back rounding that probably may have been there that I just didn't notice when I had my belt on. So all Brendan had me do was pretty much just reverse the order. So once I step back, get my feet in position, I tighten up my lats first, I tighten up, I get a nice squeeze of my glutes. And the whole point of the glute squeeze, guys, before squatting, as Brendan helped me to understand, was pretty much just to get our back out of extension, which gets you in a more neutral position, which is just more efficient for squatting as a whole. So you guys are going to see, first I'm going to tighten everything up, lats, glutes, then I'm breathing the air into my core, and then I'm descending. And it's just allowing me to stay a lot tighter. Now with this, I'm going to have the weight on screen, but I believe, like I said, that first set was with 309 pounds. This next one was either like 314 or 317. It was something like that. Like I said, I'll have the numbers on screen, and then you'll see our top set of 3 with 332 pounds. But yeah, these felt really good, especially compared to the first week. Like I said, eventually I'll be showing you guys like a comparison of like what the first day of these naked squats looked like. It was just really, really bad. Like that first set you guys saw me do with the 309 pounds moved so smooth, but the first time I did that on week 1, it was garbage. And pretty much what I do with the ascending RPE, guys, is that the set of 5 and 4, I pretty much keep around the same weight, but then I like increase the weight a little bit on the set of 3, so long as I'm keeping it true to the RPE. And then the back down sets get a little bit heavier each week as well. And then you guys are going to see as we go into the deadlifts eventually, I'm kind of skipping ahead so you guys can enjoy the rest of the raw workout footage. But with the deadlifts, it's pretty much the same concept in terms of why we're not wearing a belt, just to really work more on technique and bracing. And then keep in mind, guys, like I said, this is a movement prep phase, right? It's not even necessarily a volume phase, and it's not an intensity phase either. So shouldn't really be getting all taxed and beat up in general. And by going beltless and sleeveless, both like on the squats and the deadlifts, it's almost like a forced deload, right? The relative intensity is still fairly high because the weights may feel heavier true to the RPE because you're not wearing the belt or sleeves, but you're still working with a lot less than what you would be with the belt and the sleeves. So you're still deloading your joints, still kind of getting, in a sense, some recovery in that aspect, especially if you just come from training with a bunch of high volume intensity like I was doing recently, since I was getting prepped for the Aggie Showdown that I'm no longer doing. And like I said, after this I'll probably be doing 1 or 2 more movement prep phases depending on what Brendan has set up. Then we'll go into a volume phase, and then eventually finishing off with an intensity phase. And then like I said, guys, after the squats and deadlifts, it's pretty much just Bulgarian split squats. You guys aren't going to see those today just because I didn't want this video to be that long. It's already longer than what I wanted it to be. Oh, shout out to Russell for out here PR 405 pounds for 3 reps on bench, pretty much benching what a lot of us squat for reps. But it's all good. My boy's a freak beast. It is what it is. But anyway, yeah, you guys know what the Bulgarian split squats are for, pretty much as far as like helping with muscle imbalances, stability, and then just getting a lot of muscular activation, guys. Like I said, Bulgarian split squats, no matter who you are or how many reps you're doing, how much weight, will kick your butt because it's just so much involved with it as far as the stability, as far as your core activation, working the quads, the glutes, the hamstrings, just so much musculature. And then we finish off with some weighted planks, just 3 sets of 30 seconds with as much weight as possible, gradually trying to increase that weight each and every week just to work on some more stability. But yeah, that's pretty much what this day looks like, guys. I'll have the full workout in the description down below. Keep in mind, I'm doing that just so you guys can see what I'm doing. It's not so much you guys can try and replicate this time around. Keep in mind, everything that I'm doing in my programming is very, very, very specific to me. Like Brendan literally spent like hours just looking over my Instagram, looking over my old programming, and us talking just to like figure out what's going to be best for me during this movement prep phase. Feel free to try things out if you want, but I'm just letting you know this isn't like just a, oh hey guys, here's a programming, go for it, have fun. But if you want to try it, definitely feel free to do so. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I actually don't believe I did an outro clip for this video, so let me just go ahead and tell you guys right now that I appreciate you guys for watching and hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and leave a comment down below, let me know what you did. If you're not, leave a comment down below, let me know what I can do to get better. Like the video, share, subscribe, keep it simple, specific, scientific. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll catch y'all later.
Easy work. Yeah, come on. Easy work, David. Come on. Yeah. 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 Come on. Keep it tight. Keep it tight, David. Yeah, you got it. One more. Okay. Okay. Solid. That's true. There we go. Easy work. Yeah. Yeah. Come on, baby, go eat.
First repping all the way, just stand behind the desk. Yeah, it might have been.
Easy. There you go. Easy.
Are you done squatting? You want that bar? No, I don't want the bar. I haven't done squatting. My legs.
Let's go, boy. Take time. Oh.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh yeah, come on. Yeah. Come on. There you go.
Yep, come on.
Walk it up.
Yep.
Ooh, boy. Pretty form. There you go.
Mark tilt.